Hi, it's Mark from Mark of the Cyberbeast. This episode, we're going to talk about the brand new part Tesla just dropped over the weekend for you guys that go off-roading. This is a protection package for underneath your vehicle. So, many of you guys already got this email and you're wondering, should I get this? What does it involve? What does it do? And how hard is it to install? So, let's talk about a couple of things first. It is out of stock. Okay, so it's out of stock and it's $3,500. So right then and there, I think I just tuned out a third of the audience. But for the other 2/3 that have the $3,500 and don't mind waiting because, well, you know, they do a lot of off-roading, let's talk about this terrestrial package from Tesla. Now, I'm not off-road here. I'm about off-land. This is the Florida Keys. Here's the bayside here. Bunch of boats just sitting out there, and behind me is world famous Loreley's. Every night there's awesome live music, and from this location, one of our rentals we manage here, we can come out here at night and listen to the music with our own beverages. You don't have to pay 15 bucks a drink. We just sit here and enjoy the music. So really cool location, brand new homes. They're about 5 years old, gorgeous 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, just gorgeous high-end package. The link for it is below. But this episode is not about Alamorada or my rentals. It is about this terrestrial armor package. Now, Tesla dropped this. It was, you know, a year and a half this truck's been out. Guys have been going off-road, putting 20,000 miles off-road, and they finally come out with this protection. Now, there is an alternative, cybertruckco.com. Cybertruckco.com. Remember the water protection, there's the two spoilers, one for the tailgate and one for the top. Top one protects water from getting in your bed. The bottom one just looks really freaking cool. We did a couple episodes on that. Plus, they have the infamous side view mirror delete, which I have on my truck because I took the side view mirrors off when I polished my Cybertruck. So, let's talk about these two packages. So, the cybertruckco.com one not only has bottom protection and the side protection, just like the one from Tesla, but they also have some really cool bumper protections as well. They offer a couple different types of utilities for your truck. Besides the spoilers, they've got the camper kit. They've got some other accessories besides these. They have a lot of really cool stuff all made here in the US and California. So that is something you can look at. The Tesla one, it is simply a bottom protection for the battery, because remember, all the Tesla vehicles, they're built like skateboards. That's what they call the skateboard design, okay? Whereas the bottom middle between the tires is all battery, okay? And that's where your center of gravity is, and that's why the center of gravity is so low, and these trucks don't flip over, even though you try and you try and you try, they won't flip over because it's down there low. All the Tesla vehicles have that low center of gravity, and that's the beauty about having an EV is to be able to have that low riding feel with all the weight down there. So you got to protect it if you guys go off-road, climbing over rocks, because you can easily get your vehicle contorted and drop it over an edge and have a rock hit that battery and totally screw the pooch on your truck and your battery system, because to replace that battery, you guys might as well probably just toss the truck, because it's going to cost you probably $30,000 to replace the battery. That being said, Tesla does offer this protection, and there's also on the right and left side, kind of where your running boards would be. If you don't have running boards, it is that that strip along the side. It's that black color. So what you can do is, if you get this, again, it's 3,500 bucks. All right. Not saying it's not worth it. It's very much worth it if you go off-road, but it's pricey. You know, not everyone goes off-road. I've never gone off-road with any of my trucks. I am a Home Depot type of guy. That's how I use my truck. But there's guys who buy trucks who go off-road every weekend. That's their thing. I get it, okay? Just like with jet skis, there are guys that just cruise around a lake. I go in the ocean and I jump waves. So every time I jump waves, something breaks. That's just how it is. So, I digress. Let's go back to the $3,500 package from Tesla. You're going to have to get this vehicle and it's going to be a pain in the butt to install. So a couple options you have. You can put it in extract mode and raise the whole vehicle up and crawl underneath there. And you're gonna have to bolt this underneath to the battery first and then to the right and left sides to go ahead and protect everything that's underneath there, underneath the vehicle. People might say, well, Mark, can I use a lift? The answer is no, you can't use a lift. Why can't you use a lift? Because where those mount points are gonna go for those 4 points for the lift is gonna be where the battery is. And this is gonna go over that. Now, I haven't seen the exact specifications. Maybe it doesn't cover those areas, but I would bet it does. This is going to be just a mechanic's creeper underneath the vehicle, and you're just replacing bolts. You're probably going to need at least one other person because you're going to have to hold this thing up and bolt it up. And when you do this, you're going to want to go ahead and you're going to want to probably go corner to corner. So you're going to want to do, for instance, the driver's side front first, passenger rear next, followed by either the passenger front or the driver rear, and just go, diagonal in each of them, and then work your way towards the middle. And again, with that, just like I tell you with all the videos, you're going to want to get to about 75–80% tightness on all of them, just to get them in place. And then go ahead and go to 100% tightening. You're probably going to want to use a torque wrench for the end because you're going to want to have the correct torquage for all the bolts, because you want it uniform across each, and you don't want to over tighten it. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, number three, I lost track. Now, Cybertruckco.com does have their version of this. They've had it out for a bit. They also have replacement front and rear bumpers to give you more of a stylish look on the rear, okay? And actually there's some other companies out there as well, and we're gonna have these links in the description below. And one of them actually has a product that we're gonna be reviewing. It's the full-size Molly rack that goes from the front to the end of the Cybertruck. It's real tall, it's real robust. They're sending it down here to the keys. I'll be underneath the Tiki assembling it. We're gonna show you how to assemble it, how long it's gonna take. And then we're gonna show you the practicality of it. I'm gonna throw some kayaks on top, or maybe some paddle boards, and show you guys how useful this thing is, especially if you're a contractor, because I know a lot of times you're throwing either 2x4s or conduit on top of there, and you just wanna use that instead of the bed because you might need the bed for other things, okay? So that being said, we're gonna show you that, but that company also has a couple things like, just like Cybertruckco.com, they've got the spare tire holder for the rear, where you replace the whole bumper. It fits in the receiver and bumper area and supports it, and then that tire in the rear, it swings from the passenger side to close and open it so you can have access to the tailgate. Now, these upgrades are not your $100, $200 upgrades. These are $1,000, $2,000 upgrades. They also, just like Cybertruckco.com has, Cybertruckco.com has a really cool front bumper that not only has an option for lights, but also an option for a winch in front, okay? So it uses the wiring inside your frunk. You run it right up there. You can control it from your touchscreen, but it gives you added functionality. Again, Cybertruckco.com has more, shall we say, truck items for the truck enthusiasts, especially the ones who like camping, who like going off-road, to protect that battery, to protect your vehicle. You guys who go off-road, you know what I'm talking about. You're running over stuff, whether it's boulders, edges, and you don't want to take the risk of just having something pierce that metal area. So this is something that Tesla offered, and after they quickly offered it, they said, oh, we're out of stock on it. So kind of like the battery pack, the range extender, which they offered and then they retracted. Hopefully though, this is available and they'll offer it for you and get it to you soon. It's it's probably gonna come as a heavy package, so I would probably get this delivered to the place you're gonna be installing it at, if you're not installing it at your home. So if you're installing it, for instance, at a friend's place, and because he's got a shop, you can go ahead and just ship it there, because you're gonna have a hard time getting it there, because your truck is not going to be able to hold this thing in the bed, because I mean, you can hold it in the bed. It's just going to be kind of sticking out and cockeyed on its side, because it's the width of the vehicle, okay? And that bed's a little narrower for that. So that being said, that's the news that just dropped. Now, the other thing I am going to leave you with is I was in the Tampa Clearwater area. I filmed a really cool video with a 10-time world freestyle jet ski champion, Lee Stone. Now, Lee also, he had a Tesla. His wife had a Tesla. They moved from the East Coast of Florida to the West Coast, so they sold their Tesla, but they are planning on getting another one. He looked at the Cybertruck. He saw mine. He loved it. We had a great conversation about it. But either I didn't hit record or I lost the film. So what I'm going to do, since I can't recreate the interview process with him, I'm going to show you some video of Lee Stone doing, he was the first one in competition that did a double barrel roll and a double back flip. And there is no other 10-time world freestyle champion. So that being said, before I let you go and watch Lee and doing his freestyle stuff, who's a big Tesla fan, and one of these days he's going to have an electric jet ski for us. I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and go ahead and watch Lee from his World Championship finals, and you can see why this guy won 10 World Championships. Folks, take a look.